I like to start with a little song. I'm not Brian Harris, but he is very nice. Don't listen to his tax advice. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to go over some of the new tax changes. We're going to talk about how you should incorporate taxes into investment decisions. I'm going to talk about goals for next year. I'm going to say a big thank you for everything this year you've done for me, either subscribing, watching, encouraging me. You're watching this now. I thank you. It means a lot to me. Lastly, we're going to sprinkle in a little bit of commentary or feedback from my mom. I'm going to run a couple of new tax law changes by her. Just get her 2 cents. Get the average man on the street's opinion of some of these changes. So the new tax law is passed in 2017 that apply to the tax year for 2018, which you pay for in 2019.
We're in 18 already, almost over.
I know.
So, what are we talking about?
You pay taxes in April for the year before. Mortgage professionals, investment managers, anyone who's not a CPA is just petrified to give tax advice because they always say, you can't give tax advice, you're gonna get sued, you can't give tax advice. So I'm nervous a little bit about this episode. To protect myself, I'm doing 2 things. One is, this is the Pacific Coast Business Times. They did an article on the new tax changes. So I'm just reading that article. I'm really not giving my advice. I'm just passing along what I read in that article. And then as a special double protection, I'm gonna have my body double come in and go ahead and talk about some of this stuff. So really it's not me, it's someone else. So I just really nervous of being sued this juncture. So let's get into it, and I'm gonna make a little switch, grab my body double, and here we go. I'd like to start this intro with a little song. I'm not Brian Harris, but he is very nice. But don't listen to his tax advice. So there you have it. Brian, he's a great guy, just don't listen to his tax advice. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing, standard deduction. The standard deduction is going up. It's almost doubling, and that is a good thing. So the standard deduction is going to be higher. It's almost doubled. People can deduct that, lower their income and pay less taxes. The standard deduction is higher. Yeah,
You got me there.
Okay. However, number 2, the personal exemption is adios, no more. So because they doubled that standard deduction, I think they said, hey, we're going to take away this personal exemption. The personal exemption is eliminated, so that's gone. Personally, I was able to deduct over $16,000 from my income last year because I'm married and have 2 kids, and so there's 4 of us. And we were able to get about $16,000 off our taxes, but that's gone. So the taxman giveth and the taxman taketh away. So standard deduction's up, but the personal exemption is down. It's a wash for many people.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's
Oh. Well, that doesn't affect me, but it affects you, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Child tax credit. So that actually doubled. That's a good thing. It went from 1,000 to 2,000, and it includes more people. Not more kids, but it includes more people will be able to use the deduction. Salt. Ooh, for some of us, this is like pouring salt in an open wound. Salt is, I would put it under bad. Particularly in California, New York, New Jersey, high state income tax states, with high property values. So it's going to limit your deductions if you're a property owner that makes a decent amount of money. So now you can deduct only up to $10,000 for a combination of your property tax and your state income tax, where previously you could deduct both of those in full. home mortgage interest deduction. Previously, you could deduct interest on up to $1 million of mortgage debt for your primary residence and second home. Now that's limited to $750,000. So there's a cutoff, I think it's December 15th of 17. If you bought before then, old rules apply. If you bought after then, new rules apply. Okay, so it's hard to tell for some if they're better off based on what I've shared already, because there's a higher deduction and then some deductions have been taken away. But I think everyone's gonna be happy about this point, and that's that income tax rates are going down.
Lower.
What?
Lower.
Yeah. Do you like that?
Yeah.
Okay, me too. So nothing but positives there as far as your tax bill. 529 plans, if you're a parent or grandparent, you have a 529 plan for a kid, you can now spend money up to $10,000 on tuition to a K through 12 school. It doesn't have to be college. That's a new change. Okay, buy your Tesla. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. You have a couple of days until the 31st, December 31st, to buy your Tesla. You want to have your funding secured for your Tesla before the 31st. Tesla's delivered their 200,000th car, so that means after the end of the year, their tax credit is going to be cut in half. After halfway through next year, it's cut in half again, and starting in 2020, it's January 1st, it's going to be gone altogether. So get your Tesla. If you're interested in getting a Tesla, buy it now. You deserve that Tesla. You deserve that Tesla. Go get it. Divorce. You've been thinking about it. Now's the time. Now, you have, again, until the end of the year to get divorced. Because if you do, old rules will apply, and these new tax rules that are going to kick in won't apply to you. So what's going to change, I think it's kind of rough, is that if you get divorced, if you pay alimony, you cannot deduct that alimony payment, where previously you were able to. So it's now after-tax money. They have to pay the alimony, and you can't write it off. Ooh, that could hurt some folks.
Yeah.
That's rough, actually.
But that applies, that will affect the Hollywood community
Yeah.
more than the
Me and you.
regular, yeah.
You were never married before, right? I mean, to Dad, but before my time, you weren't.
Oh my God, no.
Okay, this last one, it's buried deep in the tax bill. But for entertainment, you can't deduct that anymore. So it used to be, as a business, you can do meals and entertainment. So I could take someone to the Laker game and buy them a hot dog, and I can write that off. Now, you can only write off the hot dog. So they won't let you write off the tickets, so the suites. I think of these Laker suites and NFL stadiums and all these corporate parties where they buy high-end tickets. As I read the tax plan, you're not going to be able to do that anymore. So, and I just think, who doesn't like the NFL? Is there somebody in power that doesn't like the NFL? And then now they're saying, you know, you can't deduct money spent on tickets to games. Interesting. But you can still deduct that hot dog. The workaround is that promotional events are still deductible. So you're able to take someone to a game, and if you make a pitch to them the entire time, it has to be the whole time, then the event's still deductible. And I just thought that was funny, just picturing somebody like trying to watch a Laker game, for example, and then having someone in their ear the whole time to make the event deductible. So I know that's not going to happen in practice, but I had to laugh and think that's funny. So that's your workaround. So there's a lot of moving parts to this tax plan. I'm not a tax expert, neither is Brian. I would call it a tax reform act because it cleans up a lot of the deductions that are a lot of times for the higher income earners. It lowers rates, it increases the standard deduction, for the average person. So I think it's positive reforms all in all. It's kind of funny that a bill would introduce 130 new tax provisions and it would simplify the taxes, but I think it does. My take on taxes is that what you want to focus on is your after-tax profit, or as far as your income is your after-tax income. So a lot of times people will focus on minimizing their taxes, but that's not exactly the goal, in my opinion. What you want to do is maximize your after-tax profit. So I've seen it before with clients on the investment side, where they'll have, for example, like a single stock portfolio with a real low cost basis, and they think, look, I can't sell this because I'm gonna have to pay taxes on it. But they're taking a lot of risk by having all that money in one stock. So they're making their decision based solely on taxes, where taxes are important and they're to be understood, and that's why I'm making this video, so you kind of understand some of the new changes, but they're not the primary input on your investment decisions. It shouldn't be. So I wanted to close by saying thank you. I did get to that 100 subscribers limit I was trying to get to, so thumbs up on that. Thank you very much. My goal for next year is to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. I have, some goals to grow my mortgage business, both in volume and in actually adding a team member. I'm also very interested in stepping back into the investment field and getting more involved there. So I have a lot of goals, and what I will say is that I am introverted, shy, all those things, and I went out and I started this channel. I started a new business, and it was very uncomfortable for me, and it's been very rewarding at the same time. So what I want to say as we close one year and start a new one is that I encourage you to get out and be uncomfortable. Do those things you really don't want to do, but they'd be good for you. So this is probably the last video for the year. Thank you so much for the success I've had this year, and I wish you all the best and have yourself a happy new year. Thank you. Bye.
What's your favorite saying?
Peace on earth, goodwill towards men.
Okay, one last thing I forgot to mention. Please subscribe, because at the beginning of the year, I'm going to do a giveaway to thank all the subscribers. It's going to be a bribe. It's going to just be a thank you to all those who subscribe, early adopters. So please subscribe, and then also have a happy new year. Thanks a lot. Bye.
What's your second favorite saying?
Love is everlasting.
That's great.